When people dream about moving abroad for a better life, the United States is usually the first country that comes to mind. After all, it's marketed as the land of opportunity, the place where hard work leads to success. But what if I told you there's another option? One that quietly offers many of the same opportunities, plus greater stability, security, and peace of mind. That country is Canada. Now, this isn't about bashing the US or saying it has nothing to offer. Millions thrive there, and it's still a global powerhouse. But for people who are searching for a healthier, safer, and in many cases more affordable lifestyle, Canada might actually be the smarter choice. Think about it. Universal healthcare that won't drain your bank account, safer neighborhoods with far fewer mass shootings, world-class education that won't bury you in debt, and a society that actually prioritizes work-life balance. Canada also happens to be one of the most welcoming and multicultural countries in the world. That makes it an easier place for newcomers to settle in. In today's video, I'll be breaking down 11 reasons why you should choose Canada over the US if you're aiming for a better life. From healthcare and safety to job opportunities, immigration pathways, and even happiness levels, we'll explore the practical and lifestyle advantages that set Canada apart. So grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive into why Canada might just be the upgrade you and your family are looking for. 1. Healthcare that won't bankrupt you. One of the biggest reasons people look north of the border is healthcare. In Canada, you don't need to worry about whether a trip to the doctor will drain your savings. The country has a universal healthcare system that's publicly funded, which means most essential medical services are covered. Doctor visits, hospital stays, emergency care. These are things you can access without handing over a credit card first. Now, let's compare that to the US. Even with health insurance, millions of Americans face crushing bills. In fact, medical debt is one of the leading causes of personal bankruptcy in the States. Imagine paying thousands of dollars just for giving birth, or for something as basic as a broken arm. In Canada, those costs are either fully covered or drastically reduced, which takes an enormous weight off families. That's not to say Canada's system is perfect. Yes, wait times for non-urgent procedures can be frustrating. But most Canadians will tell you they'd rather wait for a knee surgery than have to choose between paying rent and saving their life. The peace of mind that comes with knowing you'll never be bankrupted by a medical emergency is priceless. For everyday life, this means routine checkups are accessible. Emergency room visits don't leave you in debt, and welcoming a new baby doesn't come with a financial hangover. Healthcare isn't a luxury in Canada, it's a right. And that's one of the most powerful reasons so many people choose to build their lives there. 2. Safety and lower crime rates. Another major advantage of Canada is safety. Statistically speaking, Canada is simply a safer place to live than the US. The homicide rate in the US is about 3 to 4 times higher than in Canada, and violent crime overall is significantly lower north of the border. One of the biggest factors here is gun laws. Canada has stricter firearm regulations, and as a result, mass shootings are far less common. While tragic events can happen anywhere, Canada doesn't face the same daily reality of gun violence that Americans are forced to consider when sending their kids to school or walking into a movie theater. But it's not just about crime statistics, it's about the overall sense of security. In Canadian cities and towns, parents feel more comfortable letting their children walk to school or play outside. Commuting late at night or riding public transit doesn't carry the same level of fear many Americans experience. There's also a cultural difference rooted in social trust. Canadians generally trust their institutions and communities more, and this creates an environment where neighbors look out for one another. You'll often hear stories of people returning lost wallets or helping strangers without hesitation. Safety doesn't just affect your personal well-being, it impacts your stress levels, mental health, and even economic opportunities. A safe society allows people to focus on building their futures instead of constantly worrying about personal security. For families especially, this can be a deciding factor when choosing between Canada and the US. 3. A stronger social safety net. Life is unpredictable. You might lose a job, face an illness, or need time to care for a new baby. In Canada, the social safety net is designed to catch you during those moments, and it's much stronger than what most Americans are used to. For starters, Canada offers employment insurance, which provides financial support if you're temporarily out of work. There are also family benefits, monthly payments to help parents cover the cost of raising children. These programs may not make you rich, but they prevent families from falling into poverty during tough times. One of the most striking differences is parental leave. In Canada, new parents can take up to 18 months off, with financial support from the government. Compare that to the US, which doesn't guarantee any paid parental leave at the federal level. Many American parents are forced back to work just weeks after having a baby, which can be both physically and emotionally challenging. Stories of Canadian families highlight just how valuable these supports are. A parent can take time off to bond with their newborn without losing their job. Someone who loses work can still pay the bills while searching for a new opportunity. For many immigrants, this level of security feels like a huge relief compared to what they might experience in the US. In short, Canada doesn't leave its citizens entirely on their own. It provides a cushion, one that helps people get back on their feet and continue contributing to society. And for families trying to build stable, happy lives, that safety net makes a world of difference. For affordable and sometimes free education. If you've ever looked at the price tag for a US college degree, you know it's not cheap. In fact, student loan debt in America has ballooned into the trillions. But in Canada, education is far more affordable, and in many cases, publicly funded schools offer excellent quality without outrageous costs. Canadian public schools are consistently ranked among the best in the world. They're accessible, diverse, and provide a strong foundation without the massive inequalities often seen in the US system. Parents don't need to spend tens of thousands of dollars on private schools just to secure a good education for their kids. Higher education is also significantly more affordable. Canadian universities like McGill, University of Toronto, and UBC are globally recognized, but their tuition rates for residents are often a fraction of what comparable US schools charge. International students still pay more, but even then, many find Canada's costs manageable compared to American tuition. On top of that, the Canadian government offers scholarships, grants, and student loan forgiveness programs to help reduce financial strain. Graduating without crushing debt means young adults can start their lives faster, buy homes, start families, or invest in businesses without decades of financial burden. Education is one of the biggest investments a society can make in its future, and Canada treats it as such. For families who want their children to thrive academically without mortgaging their futures, this is a game changer. 5. Diversity and multiculturalism. Canada is often described as one of the most multicultural countries on Earth, and that's not just a slogan, it's official policy. Since the 1970s, Canada has embraced multiculturalism as part of its national identity, and today, nearly 1 in 4 Canadians is foreign-born. Cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and Calgary are global hubs where you'll find people from every corner of the world. Walk down a Toronto street, and you'll hear dozens of languages, see restaurants from every culture, and experience festivals celebrating everything from Caribbean Carnival to Lunar New Year. This isn't just tolerated, it's celebrated. What does that mean for newcomers? It means smoother integration, fewer barriers, and a sense of belonging. Canada actively works to welcome immigrants through settlement programs, language training, and community support. The message is clear. You don't need to erase your culture to be Canadian. You can bring it with you. Now, contrast that with the US, where immigration debates are often polarizing and politically divisive. While the US has long been seen as a melting pot, it's also a place where many immigrants struggle with cultural acceptance and systemic barriers. Canada's model is different. It doesn't just tolerate diversity, it thrives on it. And for families moving from abroad, knowing you'll be welcomed instead of questioned makes all the difference in building a new life. 6. Work-life balance and paid time off. Let's talk about something that directly impacts your happiness: work-life balance. In Canada, workers are guaranteed at least 2 weeks of paid vacation after just 1 year of employment, and that's the legal minimum. Many companies offer more, plus statutory holidays on top of that. Canadians also enjoy generous parental leave policies. Parents can take up to 18 months off to care for a new baby, with financial support from the government. Now compare this to the US, which has no federal law requiring paid vacation. Most American workers get around 10 days off per year, and parental leave is even worse. There's no guaranteed paid leave at all. For many families, that means having to choose between bonding with a newborn or keeping their job. The difference isn't just in the laws, it's cultural. Canadians generally place a higher value on downtime, family life, and enjoying nature. Summer cottages, long weekends at the lake, or skiing in the winter are all part of the rhythm of life. Americans, on the other hand, often glorify overwork, and many people feel guilty for even using the vacation days they do have. At the end of the day, quality of life isn't just about money. It's about having the time to spend with family, travel, or simply rest. And in Canada, that balance is built into both the system and the culture. 7. Political stability and trust in institutions. Another area where Canada has an edge is political stability. The Canadian parliamentary system isn't perfect, but it's far less polarized than US politics. Canada doesn't experience the same level of division, government shutdowns, or election disputes that seem to dominate the American news cycle. In the US, extreme partisanship often paralyzes decision-making. Healthcare reform, immigration, even basic budgets. These issues can stall for years because of partisan gridlock. Canada, while divided at times, generally manages smoother governance. That means fewer disruptions and less uncertainty for everyday citizens. Trust in institutions is also stronger. Surveys consistently show Canadians have more faith in their healthcare system, their elections, and even the media compared to Americans. This trust translates to less daily stress and a stronger sense that the system is working for you, not against you. Living in a politically stable country doesn't just affect how you vote. It affects your mental health, your investments, and your long-term security. When you don't have to worry about constant political chaos, you can focus on building your life. And that's one more reason many people are looking north to Canada. 8. Natural beauty and environmental protection. Now let's step outside and look at the lifestyle side of things. Canada is blessed with some of the most stunning natural beauty on the planet. From the Rocky Mountains to Niagara Falls, from thousands of pristine lakes to the Northern Lights, Canada is essentially a giant outdoor playground. Canadians don't just admire nature from afar, they live in it. Camping, hiking, skiing, kayaking, fishing, these aren't once-a-year vacations, they're weekend hobbies. Having easy access to nature becomes a way of life, and it's something many people say dramatically improves their mental health and happiness. What makes Canada stand out is not just the beauty itself, but the country's commitment to protecting it. Canada has strong environmental laws and has pledged ambitious climate goals. National parks and conservation areas are carefully maintained to ensure they can be enjoyed for generations. Of course, the US also has incredible natural wonders. Think Grand Canyon, Yosemite, or Yellowstone. But Canada puts a stronger emphasis on preservation and sustainable use. Canadians take pride in their natural spaces and prioritize policies to protect them. If you want a lifestyle where outdoor adventure is part of your routine, Canada offers that in abundance. And it's all right outside your doorstep. 9. Opportunities for skilled immigrants. For people thinking about moving, immigration policy is a huge factor. And here's where Canada really shines. The country has one of the most immigrant-friendly systems in the world. Programs like Express Entry and provincial nominee programs are designed to attract skilled workers, students, and entrepreneurs. Unlike the US, where the path to permanent residency and citizenship can be uncertain and often tied to an employer, Canada provides clearer, more accessible routes. Skilled immigrants can often secure permanent residency within a few years and citizenship soon after. That kind of stability is priceless. Students also benefit. Many who come to Canada for university find it much easier to stay and work after graduation compared to their peers in the US. For entrepreneurs, Canada offers startup visas and support systems that encourage innovation. The American dream has become harder to achieve, especially for immigrants. For many, it now feels like endless red tape, expensive visas, and the looming fear of deportation. Canada, by contrast, actively welcomes immigrants, recognizing their value to the economy and society. For anyone planning a long-term future abroad, Canada doesn't just offer opportunity. It offers security and a clear path forward. 10. Affordable cities compared to the US. Now, let's talk about cost of living. Yes, Canada has its own housing crisis, particularly in Vancouver and Toronto. But here's the important point. Outside of those hotspots, Canada still offers many affordable cities with a high quality of life. Take Montreal, for example. It's a vibrant, culturally rich city with a cost of living far lower than New York or Boston. Calgary and Edmonton offer great salaries thanks to the energy sector, but housing costs remain far more reasonable than in places like San Francisco. Even mid-sized cities like Halifax, Ottawa, and Winnipeg provide affordability without sacrificing amenities. And remember, healthcare and tuition savings compound this affordability. While an American family might spend thousands per year on insurance premiums or student loans, Canadian families save that money and can put it toward housing, travel, or investments. Smaller Canadian cities also punch above their weight. They offer safe neighborhoods, good schools, and growing job markets, all without the extreme costs found in major U.S. metro areas. So while it's true that some parts of Canada are expensive, the overall financial picture often works out in your favor, especially when you consider the hidden savings baked into the Canadian system. 11. Happiness, quality of life, and global reputation. At the end of the day, all these factors add up to one thing: happiness. Canada consistently ranks higher than the US in the World Happiness Report. Why? Because Canadians enjoy better access to healthcare, greater safety, stronger social trust, and less income inequality. There's also less pressure to constantly keep up with your neighbors. Canadian culture generally emphasizes balance, community, and well-being over material competition. That cultural difference may seem subtle, but it plays a big role in how people feel day to day. Globally, Canada also enjoys a strong reputation. Canadians are often seen as friendly, peaceful, and welcoming. That reputation makes it easier to travel, work abroad, and build international relationships. It's a softer, but very real, benefit of living in Canada. Ultimately, quality of life isn't measured just in dollars. It's measured in peace of mind, happiness, and opportunities for growth. And by those measures, Canada often comes out ahead. So let's recap. We've just covered 11 reasons why Canada might be the better choice than the US if you're looking for a better life. Universal healthcare, safety, a stronger social safety net, affordable education, diversity, better work-life balance, political stability, natural beauty, opportunities for immigrants, more affordable cities, and ultimately, higher levels of happiness. Now, this isn't about saying the U.S. has nothing to offer. It's still one of the most influential countries in the world, and millions of people thrive there. But if you're looking for stability, security, and a lifestyle that prioritizes health, family, and happiness, Canada offers some very real advantages. So what do you think? Would you consider making the move north? Do you believe Canada offers a better life? Or do you think the US still holds the crown? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with anyone who's been considering a move abroad, and subscribe for more content on global living, lifestyle comparisons, and making smart choices for your future. At the end of the day, the choice is personal. But for many people, Canada isn't just an alternative, it's an upgrade.